To give you an idea of what to expect today, this is a case about the integrity of our justice system, because our justice system protects individuals who are called to testify in any kind of court proceeding. And that's what happened in this case. So you will hear from a number of witnesses today, but specifically a little bit later, you'll hear from an individual by the name of Jessica Pratt. And Ms. Pratt was once married to the defendant, Mr. Grady. And they got a divorce. And the testimony will show that after the divorce, she decided to seek out a personal protection order in the Circuit Court of Huron County. Now, there's a process that's involved with that. And oftentimes, the court will request that there's a hearing to decide, so the judge can decide whether or not to grant the individual's request for a personal protection order. And that's what happened here. There was a hearing before this honorable court, and Ms. Pratt testified on her own behalf in that hearing. And Ms. Pratt's now husband testified on her behalf during that hearing as well. And his name is Ryan Gibbard, and you'll hear from him later as well. And so the court granted that personal protection order in May of 2024. So that was in effect, and you'll hear testimony and you'll see the personal protection order yourself. Now, in December of 2024, later that year, Ms. Pratt and Mr. Gibbard were going to a local bar called Bottoms Up here in the city of Bad Axe. And when they went inside, testimony that we expect you will hear will be that they saw the defendant there. Ronald Grady was there. And by the terms of his personal protection order, he had to leave. And he did. But not before he, for lack of a better word, testimony will indicate that he shoulder checked Mr. Gibbard on his way out. And so Mr. Grady leaves, and the testimony that you will hear from Ryan Gibbard will indicate the same, but then he comes back later. Mr. Gibbard will testify that about 45 minutes, an hour, hour and a half later, back comes Mr. Grady. And this time, Mr. Grady is upset. And there's an altercation. And Mr. Grady, we expect the testimony will show, made some comments towards Mr. Gibbard. And you will hear that testimony directly from Mr. Gibbard, what Mr. Grady said to him. Along the lines of, I'm going to kill you for testifying against me. Because Mr. Grady wasn't happy about having to leave whenever Miss Pratt showed up someplace. And he certainly wasn't happy about having to leave Bottoms Up that night. He did, but then he came back. So after this incident took place, the following day, Miss Pratt and Mr. Gibbard talked to the police. They called the Bad Axe Police Department, and Officer Hessling responds. And you will hear first today from Officer Hessling, and he will explain to you how he received the complaint, what he did to investigate the complaint, and how that investigation unfolded. He interviewed witnesses, many of those that you'll hear from today, in fact, all of those that you'll hear from today. Officer Hessling spoke to all of those individuals. And then he also interviewed the defendant. Now, the Bad Axe Police Department, all of the officers have a department-issued body-worn camera that they have with them at all times. And during Mr. Grady's interview, when Officer Hessling went to his home, Officer Hessling had that camera on. So not only will you hear the testimony from the individuals who were involved in this altercation at Bottoms Up, but you'll hear Mr. Grady's own words as to what happened that night. Now, his words may be a little bit different from what Mr. Gibbard testifies to, but you'll see what he says when Officer Hessling asked him if something happened between him and Mr. Gibbard tonight. You'll see the exact words. You'll hear briefly from Tracy Hessling. She's a bartender at Bottoms Up. We expect her to testify that she remembers Mr. Grady being in the bar that night Miss Pratt, Mr. Gibbard, we expect her to testify that at some point she asked Mr. Grady to leave because she was afraid that there was going to be an altercation. You'll hear from another witness who was there that evening, Joan Peters. She was a patron at the bar that night. And we expect her to testify that she saw Mr. Grady come back. She saw an altercation happening between Mr. Grady and Mr. Gibbard, but she couldn't hear the words, but she said it was heated. And so she went up and grabbed Mr. Gibbard by the shoulder and pulled him away and said, "Come on, let's just go sit down." Then you'll hear from Jessica Pratt. And Ms. Pratt will testify that she was indeed married to the defendant. They divorced. She sought out a PPO, received that PPO, and then she'll tell you what she saw that particular evening at Bottoms Up. Now, when the altercation happened between Mr. Grady and Mr. Gibbard, she was around the corner, so she didn't see that. She'll testify to that effect. And then finally, ladies and gentlemen, you'll hear from Mr. Gibbard himself. He will testify that we expect that he will testify, I should say, that he was at Bottoms Up that evening, just having drinks with Miss Pratt. Mr. Grady was there at the bar when they walked in. He turned around, finished his drink, walked out the door, shoulder checks him on the way out, and then they think that's the end of it. But then he comes back. And that's when this altercation takes place, when he tells him that he's going to kill him for testifying against him in the prior PPO. Ladies and gentlemen.
I don't think so.
Again,
it's St. Clair County.
It's not just the witnesses that will testify here today that you will hear, but you'll see the interview with Officer Hessling and Mr. Grady at his home, and you'll hear his own words, where he admits that he says, "Yeah, I told that guy there was going to be a reckoning for him testifying against me." It's as clear and as plain as day. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, after hearing the witness testimony and after watching the exhibits and reviewing any exhibits that are admitted, you will know that Ryan Gibbard did testify in a lawful court proceeding, that Ronald Grady later confronted him and threatened him at Bottoms Up, that his actions were because of the fact that Mr. Gibbard had testified against him in the PPO hearing, that two independent witnesses corroborate something going on between these guys. They didn't hear the words, but they saw the heated confrontation, and then the defendant himself admitting to the officer to his conduct. At the end of the trial, ladies and gentlemen, you will have ample evidence presented to you beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Grady is guilty of the charge which retaliated. Thank you.
The state would like to provide an opening statement.
Yes, thank you. Morning again, everybody. And my name is Michelle Ziv, and I represent Mr. Grady. So as Mr. Mahoney had outlined, yes, my client is charged with witness retaliation against Mr. Gibbard. Throughout this trial,
We have video
it's
now.
your job to
Yay.
determine the facts of the case. So as to basically hold Mr. Mahoney to his burden of proof, and the proof beyond reasonable doubt that this did in fact happen. We believe that the evidence presented will come short of that. As part of it's included in your instructions that the court had read to you previously in regards to the elements of the charges. After that second element, the court did read that a threat does not have to be stated in any particular terms, but must express a warning of danger or harm. Further, it must be meant as a true threat and not, for example, idle talk. A statement made in jest or a solely political comment. It must have been made under circumstances where a reasonable person would think that others may take the threat seriously, as expressing an intent to inflict harm or damage. It does not matter whether the defendant actually intended to carry out the threat or not. So that is something that I want all of you to keep in mind as well. Obviously, we don't mind everything, but just to remember that portion as well. We believe that after you hear all of the testimony and evidence today, that you will have to find that someone who did not meet his burden, and you would have to come back with not no verdict for my client.
How do you first witness?
The people call Officer Eric Hessling of the scene.
Please stop a moment, raise your right.
You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this case is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes. Please be seated. Honey, you may proceed.
Thank you, Don. Good morning, sir. Can you please state your name for the record and spell your last name for the benefit of the court recorder?
Eric Hessling, Hessling spelled Hessling.
And how are you employed, sir?
I'm employed with the city of Maddox,
How?
police officer.
And how long have you been a police officer with Maddox Police?
I've been at the city of Maddox about a year and a half,
And how long have you been a law enforcement officer?
15 years.
And I want to take you back to December 28th of 2024. Were you on duty that day?
Yes, I was.
And did you have occasion to investigate a complaint involving Ronald Brady?
Yes, I did.
And what was the nature of that complaint?
Nature of the complaint was for a possible PPO violation.
Do you see Mr. Grady in the courtroom here today?
Yes, I do.
Could you please point to him and tell me where he's sitting?
He's sitting next to his defense attorney at the table.
Will the record please reflect that the witness is identified the defendant?
It's shot.
Now, Officer Hessling, what were the first steps that you took in the investigation of this complaint?
So I was getting a call from our central dispatch. They had dispatched me the call to the radio. Initially, I had called the complainant, which was Jessica Pratt. I spoke with her over the phone. She gave me the nature of what the complaint was, which happened the previous night, and her concerns with violation of a personal protection order.
And where did this incident allegedly take place?
At the Bottoms Up Bar in the city of Maddox.
And that's in Huron County, Michigan.
Yes, it is.
And at that time, were you able to confirm whether a personal protection order was in effect?
Yes, I did.
And did you do that, or I should ask, how did you do that?
So I ran Mr. Grady through LEAN, which is a law enforcement information network, which showed that there was a valid PPO in place with the protected person being Jessica Pratt.
Your Honor, at this time, the people will move to the admission of People's Proposed Exhibit 1 pursuant to MRE 903. This is a self-authenticating document that is sealed from the county clerk of the County of Huron. It is a personal protection order, domestic relationship before the 52nd Circuit Court.
This is response. People's one is it?
And so, Officer Hessling, once you verified that there was a valid personal protection order in place, what did you do next?
Next, I went to Bottoms Up Bar that night because Jessica happened to be there at the time. Went there and spoke with her and Ryan Gibbard in the parking lot outside the bar and took statements from them regarding the incident from the night prior.
And after you collected those statements and spoke with those individuals, what did you do next?
After speaking with them, they had told me that there was two other witnesses that were inside the bar at that time. A few days later, I think it was January 6th and 7th, I had interviewed the two other witnesses, which would have been Tracy Hessling and Joan Peters.
And after interviewing those witnesses, without telling me what they said, were their statements consistent with what you had already learned in your investigation?
Yes.
Now, did you, as part of your investigation, did you interview the defendant?
Yes, I did.
And when and where did that interview take place?
That interview took place on January, I believe, 16th at his residence, which is outside the city of Badass on South Thomas Road.
And what, if anything, did the defendant admit to you during that interview?
He admitted that he was at Bottoms Up Bar the night where this incident had been reported. He did admit to having a confrontation with Ryan Gibbard. He did admit that he made a statement to Ryan Gibbard in his own words that there would be a reckoning for testifying against him.
Did you ask him whether he had returned to Bottoms Up that evening?
Yes, I did. I questioned him about being there at one point in time, leaving and coming back. He denied ever leaving and coming back, saying he was only at the bar one time that night.
And did he indicate whether he had any contact with Jessica Pratt that night?
Yes, he stated he never had any contact with Jessica Pratt.
Now, Officer Hessling, as part of your duties as a police officer, are you given a department-issued body camera?
Yes,
Was that body camera activated during the course of your interview with Mr. Grady?
yes,
May I approach the witness?
Yes, you may.
Officer Hessling, I'm showing you what's been marked as People's Proposed Exhibit 2. Have you had the opportunity to review the contents of that disc?
yes,
And are the contents of that disc a fair and accurate representation of the video that was recorded by your department-issued body cam on the evening that you interviewed Mr. Grady?
yes.
People move for admission of Proposed Exhibit 2.
Yes, sir.
People would ask to display that, People's 2 to the jury, Your Honor.
You may. You need the lights dimmed at all, Mr. Bond.
Your Honor, it's about a 10-minute video, so that might be helpful. Just in case there's a glare there.
Hello, how's it going? Oh, not too much. Hey, fellers. How's it going tonight?
All right.
Oh, not too much. I just want to stop by and talk with you quick about this because I said there was a complaint made with this. So
With what?
with Jessica, she had called and made a complaint after the night at Bottoms Up.
I was never in Bottoms Up with Jessica. As soon as they walked in, I walked out the door.
Okay, that's why I wanted.
Here's my witnesses. Go ahead, Mike Becky and Eddie Brill.
Okay,
When I was sitting right there, I said, oh, great. I chugged a drink and walked out the door.
okay. So you know the night I'm talking about? It was like the 27th. It was a Friday night.
About
Okay.
2 weeks ago.
Yep, Yep. Yeah, right before the first of the year.
And I followed the frickin' rules of the deal.
Okay. Yeah, because that was her complaint was like has to do with the PTO that's between you guys.
Yeah.
And like the violation of it. So I just got some couple questions about everything. I said, I'm not like, taking you to jail or anything like that. Basically, my thing is to get your side of the, get your side of the story.
I say she violated it. She went into where he was sitting.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I was told I had to leave immediately and I did.
Okay. That night, who was at Bottoms Up first? Was it you or her that was
I
that?
was in there.
You were in there first? Okay.
Yeah, ask those guys. We were sitting there BSing for probably an hour and then all of a sudden here they come.
Okay. It was her and Ryan that came together?
I guess, yeah.
Okay. And so after you had seen them that they went to the bar or arrived there, I guess, what did you do from there? Did you leave right away?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I went to Pete's and seen the what Psycho Sandy's name.
I don't know what's like what's there.
Oh, yes, you do. As soon as I think of her name, she come up there and frickin' sat right beside me, saying I can't think of her last name. I've known her for 50 years. But Becky and Chloe, her and Pro will know her name.
Okay. And so you left there, you went to Pete's. All right.
Yeah.
Did you go back to Bottoms Up
No.
that night? Okay. Was there ever an altercation with you and Ryan inside
I
Bottoms
told
Up?
him there was gonna be a reckoning for him for testifying against him on my way out the door.
Okay.
And that's all I said.
And that was all at the same time when you were there?
I left.
Okay.
I was
Is that
gone.
a real gun?
Is that a real gun? Oh, yeah, absolutely. They don't give us fake ones. When you were there, did you ever talk to Jessica?
Nope.
Did you make
never
any-
said a word to
Made
her.
any contact with
Nope.
her? Okay,
I ain't seen her, don't drive down the street, have nothing to do with the bitch.
okay. And she never talked to you at all?
Nope.
She never made contact with you?
She better, no, if
Okay.
she does, I'm gonna report it, because of shit like this.
Right. So the only person you would have made contact with there was Ryan, right?
Yep,
Okay,
and it was right by the pool table, I was on my way out the door.
okay. Now what she's saying though is, like when she got there, right, you were already there. When she got there, she said the same thing, that you finished your drinks, paid your bill, then you left. But she said about an hour later that you had came back to Bottoms Up.
No,
But
I went up to Pete's.
you went up to Pete's, okay. So you had never left and then came back, like your side of it is that you left and you stayed away.
I stayed away.
Stayed away, okay. Were you there at the bar with somebody or did you go there by
I
yourself?
was there by myself.
Self, okay. And then who were you talking to when you were there?
Mike Becky and Eddie Pearl.
Eddie Pro, you said?
Yeah. Singing, she was, singing. Those two will know her name. Just ask them. We call her Psycho Sandy.
Mike
Or
Swacking.
Swackings.
You said Eddie Pro?
Yep.
Do you have their phone numbers at all by
No,
chance?
hell no.
You just know who they are?
Well, I grew up with, but
Mike Becking sounds familiar.
he was the dog catcher for years.
Oh, okay, that's why it sounds familiar, yeah.
Yeah, now he works for drives for, pinball.
Gotcha, they both live in the Bad Axe area, I assume?
Yeah, Becky was right there about a block from the light.
Okay.
Eddie Pro lives on South Silver Street.
Anything else happened while you were there with Jessica that night or anything like that?
I avoided.
Right. And nothing since then? Nothing since that night from then till now? There hasn't been any issues or
I
anytime?
haven't, no, I haven't even seen her. I avoided.
Right. So is it, yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with this. Obviously, she made a report the following day with me, and so I'm just doing the follow-up on it, see, I gotta do my job, I gotta investigate any kind of complaint we get with this, so. I said the only question that comes in is what she said was that,
She had contact with me, she's saying that?
no, she had contacted me, made a report the following day after that Friday, that Saturday.
Did you not tell her that our PTO says I am to leave when I see her and then I left?
Yeah, so like what she's saying is that initially when she got there, you did the right thing, paid your bill, you left, right? What she says, her statement is that about an hour later, you came back into the bar knowing she was there, and that's when the altercation happened with Ron.
No, there was never an altercation.
Not like a physical one, but like just verbal, where you guys had words with each other, up at the bar.
Tell her to go back to drinking. That's what she.
Yep. So, and like what you're saying is you never left and you never came back. Like when you left for that night.
I went to Pete's.
Went to Pete's Bar. Okay.
I wish I could remember what Fisher's name was too. She was a Fisher girl from home. She's the one that was the mail lady. Who'd she marry? Yeah. She was up in Pete's. Me and her old man last for about an hour and a half.
Who was that?
Sally Brett.
Okay. But she wasn't at Bottoms Up, she was at Pete's, right?
She was going to Pete's, but Sandy come up to Pete's too.
Sandy Sawicki.
Is she kind of? No, it wasn't Sandy Sawicki. What the hell is her name? Becky will know though.
Okay.
I
All right.
remember.
Okay, I'll try to talk with them and go from there. So I don't know what's gonna happen with this, if anything. I just gotta do my job and talk to everybody, get everybody's side of the story.
Oh, I laughed.
I'll report it, I gotta do a report on it, send it to the prosecutor, have them review it, but
I did what I was supposed to do.
no, I said, it sounds like you did, that exactly when she got there, you did what you're supposed to do. I said, what comes in the question is what she's saying is that you came back about an hour later. But,
Did I supposedly stay in the bar when I went back?
well, by sounds of what she knows, and what I talked to, that when you came back, you were only back for a short amount of time. And then that's when you and Ryan had gotten into the altercation. The bartender basically told you to leave, which you did, and then you left again without making contact.
So I followed the rules even the second time.
Well, did you come back a second time?
No,
No? Okay.
I just want, the point was made though,
Right.
that why virus so pointless, I don't get it.
Well, I think
I don't understand.
Jessica's belief is that there was a violation of the PPO when he had come back the second time, knowing that she was in the bar. And so like you were there the first time and, you know, you did what you're supposed to, knowing she was there, you left, but then came back to Bottoms Up, knowing that she was there or possibly still there, is what her view is, that there was that violation of PPO. So,
No. Sorry, I can't help her out.
yeah. So, but my recommendation for you is this, you know, if you ever come into contact with her again, you know, do as you did when she got there,
I
back
did,
up and leave.
because I didn't want this to happen.
Yeah, because, you know, this is my advice, is that the course do take PPO violations really seriously, because their hands are kind of tied with them. They have to, right? So before you get yourself in some trouble, or, you know, even unwarranted, wanted trouble, that,
I mean, she
Do that.
admitted that I did what I was supposed to do, and
Yep.
then yet she still files a fucking complaint.
yeah. I said her issue is with it is that you came back like an hour late. You know, that's where she feels that the PPO was violated, knowing that she was there. So,
Okay, there, I told you he was there.
yeah, no, I do appreciate talking with you. That's why I wanted to come get your side of the story. I didn't know where exactly you lived at, so that's why I called you first before I drove out here. I'm like, I don't know where you live at. We had a phone number for you in our system, so I'm like, I'll call them and see if you're home, and then I'll stop by. But no, I
I
appreciate it.
don't go nowhere. Look, I'm here every night.
Good deal. Well, I appreciate your time talking with me, though, Bose. All right. If anything comes about it, I'll let you know. But I'll
Yeah,
wait
I
and
told
see.
you guys, I'll tell you the same story. I left.
Okay. Well, cool. Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
All right. Have a good night, guys.
yeah, see ya.
Court failed to mention, for purposes of the record, the court will not require the transcription of People's Exhibit number 2 as that evidence, or that exhibit speaks for itself. So no requirement there relative to transcribing what was said on the video. Mr. Pani, you may continue.
So Officer Hessling, after this interview with the defendant, what actions did you take to complete your investigation?
After that interview, I made a written report and then submitted it to the prosecutor's office for review.
So Officer Hessling, just in closing, is it fair to say that this investigation started out as an investigation as to a PPO violation?
That's correct.
And it ultimately turned out to lead to this charge that we're here for today. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. I have no further questions for the witness at this time.
Thank you. Cross-examination. You're welcome.
So when you had interviewed my client, Mr. Grady, he had mentioned a couple of names that potential witnesses. Did you interview any of those people?
Oh, I did not.
What is the reason for that?
So prior to interviewing him, I had already spoken to two other witnesses. And my only reason to be speaking to the two names that he had given me would be because when I talked to him, his statement was that he only was at the bar one time and had gotten left and never returned. So the only reason I want to speak with them, because the other witnesses, it would have been 4 of them in total, they told me he had been at the bar, left, and came back. Well, then with further talking with Mr. Grady, in his own words, he cast a doubt in my mind that he was telling me the truth. Because there was a statement about him being back there the second time. And in the video, you can hear me ask him about it after he had denied being there the second time, went back to denying it. So with his statement, I didn't find it credible that he was only at the bar one time. So I didn't interview the other two because that would just be the only reason to interview them at that point with that consistency of that statement.
So when you say not credible, you're just referring to Mr. Grady's statement that he did not go back to the bar the second time.
So, yes, the statement that I didn't find credible is saying that he didn't go back the second time. And the reason why I don't find that credible is because I had 4 other witnesses tell me that he had come back there the second time and you add that to with what he told me, which cast it out, speaking with them, where it was something along the lines of, I even did it the right thing the second time I was there, meaning that there was a slight admission that he was there the second time.
So you had said that, Mr. Grady had stated, as we saw in the video, something along the lines of there would be a reckoning for, Mr. Gibbard.
Yes, he said that.
What is your interpretation of that?
My interpretation would be that there would be retaliation against Mr. Gibbard for testifying.
So the word reckoning to you is that people who have a retaliation then?
Yes.
Do you know what the actual meaning of that word is?
Reckoning? No, I do not. But just in the context of how it was said, in the context of the incident, that would be my interpretation of it.
Redirect.
Redirect your
Next witness.
people call Tracy Hessling to the stand, Your Honor. Officer Hessling's going to retrieve her from the hall, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Attention, esteemed viewers. If you are hearing this message, it means that you are sadly witnessing a dark moment in the history of legal discourse. Yes, it's true. Law Talk with Mike is experiencing what we in the business call a plot hole size lull. This is, of course, due entirely to Mike's, let's say, ambitious approach to preparation. And by ambitious, I mean utterly devoid. Yes, the very fabric of our legal
Do
system.
you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give in this case is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, ma'am. Can you please state your name for the record and spell your last name for the court reporter?
Tracy Hessling, Hessling.
And where do you work, Ms. Hessling?
I'm sorry.
And that's Bar, correct?
Yes,
Is that in the city of Bad Axe?
yes,
And that's in Huron County, Michigan?
yes.
Were you working at Bottoms Up on December 27th of 2024?
I remember the date. Yes,
Do you work there regularly?
yes, I do.
Do you remember Officer Hessling coming to you at some point after that day, talking to you about an incident? Okay. So if he had marked in his report that it was December 27th, would that be, would we have any reason to doubt that after talking to you?
No.
Okay. Now, taking you back to that night, did you see the defendant, Ronald Grady, in the bar that night?
Yes,
Do you see him here in the courtroom today?
yes.
Can you point to him and tell me what he's wearing, please?
And I'm not sure.
For the record, please reflect that the witnesses identified the defendant. Same night, did you observe Jessica Pratt and Ryan Gibbard come in?
Yes.
Did you see anything happen between the defendant, Mr. Grady, and Mr. Gibbard?
No, I did not.
At any point in the evening, did you hear any words exchanged between Mr. Gibbard and the defendant?
No.
Do you remember seeing Mr. Grady leave the bar that night?
Well, everyone had to leave, so,
I mean, before closing time.
well, yes.
Okay. Do you remember why it was that he left at that time?
Well, I know that someone said Tracy, and so there was something happened, but,
Okay, so when somebody said Tracy, what did you do?
well, I usually just whatever's going on, separate what's going on, and then ask someone to leave.
Okay. Now, specifically, when you heard your name Tracy being called because something was going on, who did you ask to leave?
I'm not sure, but, right, well, so,
Well, if you're not sure, I don't want you to answer.
well, I mean,
Okay.
I know who stayed after.
Okay. Now, do you remember, again, talking to Officer Hesling shortly thereafter?
Yes,
Okay, and if he had written in his report that you told him that you asked Mr. Grady to leave, would we have any reason to doubt what he had written in his report?
no,
Okay. And if he had written in his report after interviewing you, that you had seen a verbal back and forth between Mr. Gibbard and Mr. Grady, would we have any reason to doubt that report after that interview?
no,
Okay, because you don't specifically remember.
no.
And why is that, do you think?
I see so many people and there's so many people that come in and out, and if there's like commotion, I'm right there just to de-escalate it before it starts because they work too hard to clean that bar up, and I'm not gonna have anything like that happen in there.
And so that's your normal reaction. If something
Yes.
starts, if you see it, if you see something start happening, you get over it.
Yes,
And you ask somebody to leave?
yes,
Okay. Ms. Hesling, I have no further questions for you this morning.
thank you.
Cross-examination.
Oh, do I have to stay?
Yep.
Oh my God.
Right now. So you had indicated that, so you did see Mr. Grady at Bottoms Up that night of December 27th.
Yes.
But you had also said that you did not hear anything between Mr. Grady and Mr. Gibbard.
No, I did not.
So, you believe that there was a verbal altercation? Is that correct?
There could have been, yes.
But you're not sure? You're not sure?
I didn't hear what was said.
Okay. About, so that night, how long was Mr. Grady at Bottoms Up that night?
Well, I don't time people in the bar, but wasn't there late or nothing.
Okay. And you didn't see Mr. Grady have any contact with Ms. Pratt? did you?
No, I did not.
You recall where Ms. Pratt was sitting when Mr. Grady was inside of the bar?
They were sitting at the table. There's a wall and there's like two tables like this. They were at that table.
Okay. Was Mr. Grady on the other side of the wall?
No, I think he was you were at the bar with us.
At the bar, okay. And that was prior to Ms. Pratt and Mr. Gibbard walking into the bar.
I think Rose was there first.
Mr. Grady was there first.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no, that's okay. So that night of the 27th, was that a busy night for you at the bar?
I don't know the date. Or if it was a Friday, Saturday, Monday.
You know if karaoke was going on?
If I knew the date, I could tell you.
December 27th of 24th?
We do karaoke on Fridays and Saturdays.
Okay, so there would be karaoke going on that
If it
day.
was a Friday or Saturday, yes.
So would you say that does it get pretty loud inside the bar?
When there's karaoke, yes.
Okay. And you said so it was crowded, not crowded? How would you describe it?
I don't really remember, but I'm not supposed to say if I don't know for sure, so.
But typically, is it crowded when you're?
We have a good crowd on our karaoke night, yes.
Redirect.
Just briefly, Your Honor. Ms. Hesling, a moment ago, you had mentioned in one of your answers, you said Bose was there first. Who's Bose?
Mr. I don't know his last name.
The gentleman you identified as the defendant earlier?
Yes,
Oh, is that a nickname?
that's what I know him by, yes.
Okay. And I also forgot to ask you, do you know Jessica Pratt?
Yes, I do.
And do you know Ryan Gibbard?
Yes, I do.
So when you see them, they're people who are familiar to you, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That was all I needed.
Recross. How do your next witness?
People call Joan Peters, Your Honor.
You know what the problem is here, don't you? You know what the real underlying issue is? It's this.
Exciting and new.
Before being seated, please raise your hand.
You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this case is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
How do you make?
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, ma'am. Can you please state your name for the record and then spell your last name for the benefit of the court reporter?
Jones Peters, Peters.
And Ms. Peters, I want to take you back to December 27th of 2024. Were you at the Bottoms Up Bar that evening?
Yes, it was.
That's in the city of Bad Axe, correct?
Yes.
Huron County, Michigan? Was that yes? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay. Now, let me ask you, do you know a gentleman by the name of Ronald Grady?
Yes, I do.
Do you see him here in the courtroom today?
Yes, I do.
Could you please point to him and tell me what he's wearing?
Black shirt.
Would the record please reflect that the witness has identified the defendant?
Good shot.
And so that night at Bottoms Up, did you see Mr. Grady inside the bar?
Yes, I did.
And do you know two people by the name of Jessica Pratt and Ryan Gibbard?
Yes, I did.
And were you in the bar when Jessica Pratt and Ryan Gibbard arrived?
Yes, I was.
And what, if anything, did you see happen after Jessica and Ryan got to Bottoms Up?
We sat down at our table and Ron.
You know him as Bose?
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay.
He was sitting at the bar and then he left shortly after they got there.
Okay, did you see anything happen between him and Mr. Gibbard as he was leaving?
Don't recall, no.
Okay, and so you see him leave, correct?
Correct.
Now, later in the evening, did you see him again?
Yes, I did.
And where did you see him later in the evening?
He was standing holding the door open.
And what did you observe between him and Mr. Gibbard at that time?
I wasn't sure what was going on. I had walked around one part of the bar to get a drink. And he was standing with the door open. Ryan was kind of standing at the end of the bar. And I just told Ryan, back to the table. I didn't know if there was anything between them.
When you walked up, could you tell if they were talking?
I wasn't sure what was going on.
Okay. How did they look to you when you walked up? The reason I ask is because, if I'm not mistaken, you just testified that you asked Ryan to go back to someplace else. Why did you do that?
Just because I knew of the situation between the two of them. So I just told him, why don't you go back to the table?
What did you know about the situation between the two of them?
That they're not supposed to be in the same place at the same time.
Okay. And so but you didn't hear any words exchanged?
I don't recall hearing anything, no.
Was it loud in there that night?
No, it was.
Was it a karaoke night? Do you remember? A lot of people? Okay. And so you testified that you tapped him or grabbed him on the shoulder and said, what?
I just said, go back, get over back to the table or whatever. I'm not even sure what I said. I don't even recall.
And did he do that?
Yes, he did.
And did you go back and sit at the table with him?
I went back, not sure if I went got a drink and then went back to the table, but I went back to the table, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Peters. I have no further questions for you at this time.
Cross-examination, Mr.
I don't have any questions for this witness.
Status of the witness.
We'd ask that she be excused, Your Honor, as well as Ms. Hessling, who previously testified.
I failed to address that. Is it?
I don't have any objections to
They're both excused. Behind your neck.
People call Jessica Pratt. Please stand, Your Honor.
Oh yeah. If Captain Kangaroo was around these days, they would just put him on a registry based on his look.
Miss, would you please step up to the witness stand just to my right?
You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this case is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, ma'am. Can you please state your name for the record and spell your last name for the benefit of the court recorder?
Jessica Lynn Pratt Gibbard, Gibbard.
And so on December 27th of 2024 was your last name at that time, Pratt?
Yes.
And now it's Gibbard, correct? Okay, just wanted to get that out of the way. Now, let me ask you, Ms. Gibbard, do you know the defendant, Ronald Grady?
Yes,
How do you know him?
my ex-husband.
Do you see him here in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Can you please point to him and tell me what he's wearing?
Black glasses.
Would the record please reflect that the witnesses identified the defendant?
It should.
When were you married to Mr. Grady?
It's been 3.5 years since we've been divorced.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness just to adjust the microphone a bit for her? You may. Okay, Ms. Gibbard, could you repeat that? When were you married to Mr. Grady?
I don't remember the exact date, but we've been divorced about 3.5 years.
Okay. Now, in May of 2024, did you file for a personal protection order against Mr. Grady? And was that in this court?
Yes.
Who testified during that hearing?
Ryan Gibbard?
And did you testify during that hearing as well?
Yes.
And was the personal protection order between you and Mr. Grady granted by the court?
Yes.
And was it in place between you and Mr. Grady on December 27th of 2024?
Yes.
Well, I'd like to take you forward then to the evening of December 27th, 2024. Where were you that evening?
Thumbs up?
And that's a bar, correct?
Yes.
And is that in the city of Bad Axe?
Yes.
Huron County, Michigan, correct? Who was with you?
Ryan Gibbard?
And did you see the defendant when you arrived at Bottoms Up that night?
Not at first.
When did you first catch sight of him?
As we were walking through the bar, he, I don't know how else to put it, kind of shoulder checked Ryan, said something to him, but I don't know what he said.
Was there a crowd of people that would have caused him to run into Mr. Gibbard?
No, there was nobody else by us.
After he made contact, shoulder check, as you said, Mr. Gibbard, what happens next? Where does he go? What do you see?
He went down to the other end of the bar, finished his drink, ate his tab.
Now, later in the evening, did you see him again at the bar?
I myself did not, but Ryan Gibbard did.
Okay,
An hour and a half.
okay. Now, you know that because Ryan Gibbard came back to your table, is that fair to say?
Yes,
And you said it was about an hour or an hour and a half after Mr. Grady had left the first time?
Yes.
Okay. So you didn't witness any interaction between Mr. Gibbard and Mr. Grady?
I did not.
And you didn't hear any of the words that were exchanged between those two?
I did not.
Okay. Now, you had mentioned that after he shoulder checked Mr. Gibbard, he went back and sat down and finished his drink. Is that correct?
yes.
How was he acting?
You could tell he was talking to the other people at the bar, maybe a little agitated because he had to leave.
And now, why did you decide to contact law enforcement the next day?
Because of the PPO, I just wanted to have the paper trail that he violated it. So if I needed to continue it, I could.
Now, during the course, do you remember talking to Officer Hessling of the Bad Axe Police Department?
Yes.
And did you make a statement to him?
Yes.
And did you provide a written statement to him?
Yes.
And were those statements that you made to Officer Hessling and your written statement consistent with your testimony here in court today?
Yes.
And you have no further questions, Your Honor.
Cross-examinations.
So when you, so that night when you went to Bottoms Up and, you said that you had then saw Mr. Grady there. And when you say that there was a shoulder check, was that just in passing or? There was nobody else in the way. There was no reason that it was just a thump. It was on purpose. Was the bar busy that night? No. It was busy on the night of the 27th?
No, it's not at that time.
What time was that?
Maybe around 8-ish.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Yes. Please.
If you haven't hit like and subscribe, I just want you to know that you're hurting Jack's feelings. It's not the only bar, it's just the bar. It's the bottoms up, man.
This is, you may continue when you're ready. You're welcome.
So, when you contacted dispatch, why didn't you call the night that this had occurred?
I didn't witness it myself, and I didn't see any reason to call 911. Nobody ever informed me how to take care of a PPO, whether I was supposed to call 911, just call central dispatch, make a report, and so I just figured, why make a scene? I could do that separately in this case. I just wanted it on report.
Okay, but are you aware that there was no actual violation of the PPO?
Violation, if he knew we were there and he came back, he chose to come back.
How would he know that you were there?
He was there when we got there.
About how long passed from when he left when you first arrived? Hour and a half. So again, though, but how does that mean that Mr. Grady would know that you were still there?
I drive the same vehicle that I did when we were together, so I'm sure he knew we were still there.
So so you drove your vehicle to Bottoms House that night then?
I think so. Honestly, I'm not sure.
Did you take your vehicle?
I can't remember if it was my vehicle or my husband's vehicle, honestly, but.
Okay. So you're saying that Mr. Grady knew what kind of vehicle your now husband drove at that time? And again, you said that it was not busy at that time. Like Mr. Grady was there.
He came back?
Or no, I guess when he came back.
When he came back, I had picked up a little bit. It wasn't overly packed.
So you had indicated that you felt that the PPO was violated. Did anything occur because of that? You mean like was there a consequence or anything that you felt occurred or did not occur because you felt that there was a violation of the PPO?
Consequence how?
Did you ever come back before the court and talk about what you thought was a violation of the PPO?
This is what has happened because of that.
But you haven't, there hasn't been addressed separately in another hearing.
Redirect.
No redirection on it.
Members of the jury, it's just shy of noon at this point, so we are going to take our noon recess. We'll reconvene at 1 p.m. I have to remind you, you are not to discuss the case even amongst yourselves. were not to look up any aspects of the case as well regarding this matter. And you can go anywhere you wish for lunch, anything you wish to do is fine. However, we ask that you return to the courtroom no later than about 5 minutes to 1, preferably, so we can begin promptly at 1 p.m. I do have to advise you that during the trial, do not read, listen to, or watch any news reports about the case. Under the law, the evidence you consider to decide the case must meet certain standards. For example, witnesses must swear to tell the truth, and the lawyers must be able to cross-examine them. News reports, because they don't have to meet those standards, they can give you incorrect or misleading information that might unfairly favor one side. So to be fair to both sides, please follow that instruction. So you talk about anything you wish to, not about the case. And once you return back to the courthouse, I would ask, rather than sit out in the waiting area, you just simply go to room 207, which would be the corner door here, right by the waiting area. There's a little doorbell there. Just hit the doorbell. That'll alert us that you're at the door. You'll hear a chirping sound. Once you hear the chirping sound, that means that the lock is disengaged. Just grab the handle and we'll escort you back into the jury room. That's what we'll do. Members of the jury, you are excused. We'll see you at 1 p.m. Off the record.
Oh, good Lord. I guess I need to know what happens in Bad Axe now. I really do. I guess I'll close this down and do a part 2 in an hour. I'm riveted by this situation. I really am. I want to know. I want to know if he's going to get rung up for witness intimidation. Sounds like it, but I'm not sure. You know, I'm not convinced beyond a reasonable doubt yet. I get it. It makes sense, but I just I want to see how many more witnesses we have going on here. All right. We'll be back in an hour, assuming I can find the feed. Thanks for coming out. I'll see you in a little bit.